So John Lynch met with the media today to talk about Ricky Pearsall, and he wanted to give some more information and give updates on Ricky Pearsall's status and how Ricky's doing. And of course, welcome to 49ers Cutback to talk about this interesting situation when it comes to Ricky Pearsall. And I think that it was such a somber mood Saturday, after everything came down with Ricky Pearsall, and the first thoughts were, what is going to happen to this young man, and hopefully he's healthy. He's going to be able to make it through this unnecessary violence. And then now we're seeing a situation where it looks like it's something miraculous, and that Ricky Pearsall is going ahead and moving in the right direction and getting healthy. He's been released from the hospital. Of course, I'm sure you've heard those reports. But John Lynch wanted to give some updates about the status of Ricky Pearsall, and so he kind of gave us some background on what Ricky was doing and why he was there and on Union Street, and why he was looking to get something that he was buying. He was trying to get luggage for away games. That's what he was actually there for when he was held up. So a little bit of background on what Ricky's doing. And it's not okay what happened to Ricky Pearsall, that's for sure. But we're going to get some positive news out of this. And I think that one thing we know is life is delicate. And so we didn't even want to ask the question about what it meant for Ricky Pearsall when it came to football. You just don't want to talk about those things when you're talking about something serious, but there's been a lot of news surrounding Ricky Pearsall. And so I wanted to kind of give a little bit of background on what's being said and what's being talked about, because there has been some newsworthy things that have happened, developments. And first off, a lot of people were very upset with the 49ers organization for continuing to have their 53-man roster party at Kyle Shanahan's. And, pictures came out from Rick Ross, the rapper. He was there, and a lot of people were upset that they went ahead and did that. But the Ricky Pearsall press conference today revealed from John Lynch that Pearsall actually encouraged them to continue to have their party. He wanted them to go out there and enjoy themselves. He FaceTimed the team. Aaron Banks revealed that. And so it's really something that Pearsall was okay. The team felt comfortable that Ricky Pearsall was trending in the right direction, and he was over the moon about them continuing to do their normal things, and that he would eventually rejoin the team. And I think that's great news for the 4 years. So luggage was the reason that he was there when he got robbed in the potential robbery attempt. Lynch said, and this is huge, Lynch said the bullet didn't even strike a rib, and is optimistic that he'll not only be able to resume his career, but will be able to play this season. So yesterday, of course, Ricky Pearsall was put on the NFI, which is non-football injury list, because this is a non-football injury. But the fact that the gunshot went through his chest and came out his back and didn't touch any vital organ, it didn't touch a bone, not a rib, not a scapula, and it went all the way through. It's called a through and through, and didn't have any contact with any of those things, including it didn't have any effect on nerves or anything, is absolutely miraculous. Like, this is crazy. And of course, we want to make sure that we give props as well to the first responders, including the police officer who came to the aid of Ricky Pearsall and applied pressure and really helped him be able to navigate getting from the time he shot until the time he gets into the ambulance, into the hospital. So thanks so much for everyone that responded and helped Ricky. But what a miraculous thing that this is going to be, potentially, that a lot of people probably didn't think this is a possibility. Is we went from wondering if the young man was going to survive to now having a question of when Ricky Pearsall comes back. I mean, this is good news for Ricky Pearsall. I mean, number one, right? That's what you want. Jawan Jennings said he hugged Ricky Pearsall and he said, "Move at your pace." And that's what everyone was expecting. Hey, it's not about football right now. It's about you getting right and getting healthy. And there are some interesting things that come out of this, but the fact that John Lynch believes that not only is his career not over, but in fact that he's going to be able to potentially come back this year is huge. Now, one thing that's a little bit, this is kind of funny, a little bit, is Ricky Pearsall promised John Lynch that he isn't injury prone. Of course, you're not injury prone from this, Ricky, but Ricky Pearsall telling John Lynch he's not injury prone, and Lynch, of course, assured him that he knew that. So that's good news from the 49ers. So we're looking at a situation where NFI means Ricky Pearsall can't play the first 4 weeks. Now, how quickly is these wounds going to heal? We don't know. I don't know if the 49ers have an inclination of when that's going to be, or if Ricky Pearsall knows when that's going to be. We know that time is definitely the friend of Pearsall as far as getting healthy. He was already dealing with a shoulder injury, was getting close to coming back. And so now we'll see what happens with the overall gunshot wound and what that will do to his likelihood of being available and when he'll be available. But I think it's a encouraging sign for Pearsall as far as that he's going to be healthy at some point. You always wonder when you go into these situations if they're ever going to be the same, if they're ever going to be able to move their arm the same or move their body the same. And it appears that Ricky Pearsall is going to be able to. And what a great thing this has been that Ricky Pearsall has been able to come out on the other end of a scary situation, and he's not unscathed by any stretch of the imagination. This is a traumatic experience, and an injury like this is nothing fun for you physically or mentally. But the fact that it doesn't look like it's going to take away his career, and in fact, not even take away his rookie season all the way, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. But John Lynch's optimism about Ricky Pearsall coming in and playing in his rookie season is exactly what the doctor ordered for the 49ers. And that comes on the heels of this being said on KMBR. This is by Tim Ryan. So Tim Ryan, of course, former NFL player, and he does the color commentary for the radio broadcast. And if you watch preseason, you'll see him on there as well. And Tim Ryan said this about Ricky Pearsall on KMBR. I talked to him yesterday. He was actually in the weight room. Thank God it's not worse than it was. I already know this, that he's, his things and people's opinions of him. I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but people's opinions of him have tremendously went up around here. They're talking about his toughness and things like that. But you're talking about Ricky Pearsall being in the weight room already. Now, he didn't say he was lifting weights, right? He didn't say what he was exactly doing, but the fact that he was back in the facility with the San Francisco 49ers and back around his teammates is impressive. And Trent Williams talked to the media today, and he said that one of the motivations for him coming back and being back in this building with the 49ers was Ricky Pearsall. He said that Ricky Pearsall during OTAs or during minicamp, when Trent showed up and he said he was there for like 30 minutes, made it a point to walk up to Trent Williams and introduce himself. And Trent Williams took notice of that. And he took notice of how Ricky Pearsall was carrying himself. And I think that's a tremendous way to look at a young rookie making an impact and making a name for himself, is the way that you handle each situation with these veterans. And that's one thing that we've noticed about Pearsall. Though he's had some injuries and things he's dealt with, no one's ever said anything about him not being a hard worker, not being tough, and he's continued to go out there and prove it on a daily basis. So this is great news for the 49ers. First off, it's tremendous news for Ricky Pearsall that he is potentially going to be healthy enough in a short period of time to be available for this football season. That is crazy, because you go from the fact that you're thinking, is he going to be alive, to has this ended his career, to, how does this affect his life? And now he's going to be back at some point and playing for the San Francisco 49ers. It's tremendous. And I'm glad that such a bad situation is moving in a positive direction. And I'm hoping the best for Ricky Pearsall whenever he comes back. I hope he takes this process and gets right physically, mentally, and is capable of playing. And I'm glad that his rookie season hasn't been completely taken away. And for 49er fans, we'll finally get to see Pearsall in a game at some point this season, hopefully. And that's great optimism for the 49ers and a great optimism for Ricky Pearsall. We're all cheering for Pearsall, and we want to see him back with the 49ers in uniform, doing what he loves. But really, we just want him to know that we're all behind him and we're all supporting Pearsall. So congratulations to Pearsall for some good updates. And we'll see. 49ers think that Ricky Pearsall will play in 2024. That's according to John Lynch. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now we can start monitoring the football end. Of course, we want him to get healthy for his own sake, but we also can monitor the football side of this thing as well, as John Lynch starts bringing up Ricky Pearsall could come back at some point. It's great news. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.